reppin' Rutgers, yeah, we do it for the R. Scarlet nights flexing hard, yeah, we gonna raise the bar. All the pride in New Jersey, man, we stand tall and proud. From the Brunswick to the shore, we gon' turn it up real loud. Athletics in our veins, we hustle, we grind. The streets to East Coast, so it's on our mind. Red and black, we attack, yeah, we never fall back. In the heart of the game, Rutgers putting up the stats.
Jersey strong, yeah, we doing it right. For the R, put a thumb and we gon' fight all night. East Coast energy, hit 'em with the hype. Rutgers on the project, taking that flight.
From the glassroom to the field, we excel, we win. Got the spirit of the all, let the games begin. We represent the Garden State. Hustle, grit, no debate. Determination in our eyes, nah, we don't hesitate. We got strength, we got heart. Every play, every ball. Loyalty in our soul from the end to the start. It's a Rutgers way, never sway. Steady on our grind with the pride of New Jersey success we gon' find.
Jersey strong, yeah, we doing it right. For the R, for the club, and we gon' fight all night. East Coast energy, hit 'em with the hype. Rutgers on the project, taking that flight.
Yo, and this the end still a raw. Scarlet nights, here a sword. Champion the spirit, break it down every door. Red wave rising, see the power in our stride. With the hearts of a night, we got that Jersey pride. When the lights bright on that Saturday night, Rutgers spirit burning, shining in the fight. In every passing tackle, we blaze with desire. In the halls of the ivy, setting the field of fire. From the alumni to the youth, we carry the flame. United by the banner in every single game. This is more than just a team. It's a legacy strong for the R, for the glory. We gon' carry on.
Peace and blessings, everyone. What's going on? It's me. It is the coach, Coach Edd Gladney, here today, bringing you episode 5 of Doing It For the R, everything Rutgers Athletic. You know how I do, how I represent. My love for Rutgers. Hopefully, you have that love for Rutgers, or you're here to support. So, thank you all for being here, and I'm really excited to bring you another episode. I also want to thank all of those who are sponsoring, who are contributing in any way, shape, or form, to my sponsors, to the Hardcore Sports Network, to the Big Blue Crew Sports Network. Thank you all for always being here supporting me. Make sure everyone hits the like button on Coach Edd Gladney's Amazing World of Sports, the Big Blue Crew Sports Network, and the Hardcore Sports Network. The links should be in the descriptions for you guys to go ahead and link up with everyone there. So I really appreciate everyone. And again, to all my sponsors, you guys, I really appreciate you. Jersey Silverbacks, the Jersey Bearcats, Go Travels, League of All Leagues, Stitched by Trini. Again, thank you all for always continuing to contribute and believe in me. And I thank you all, and ready to rock and roll. So as we get into today's episode, a few things that I want to talk about. Last week, we talked about Pat Hobbs and what's going on there with him and the investigation. So just want to give a little update in reference to that. What's going on in reference to Pat Hobbs. I was reading an article, and let me see if I can bring up this image. And go ahead. Here we go. And there we go. And talking in reference to Pat Hobbs, let me stop sharing this. I was reading an article in reference to what's going on with Pat Hobbs, the investigation. This article is from Cat Country 107.3.com. That you can definitely pull up the article there. But it's talking about Rutgers has hired a law firm to conduct the investigation towards the gymnastics team in reference to the allegations of bullying, favoritism, revenge by the head coach, Ume Salim Beasley. So Rutgers president Jonathan Holloway, he announced this week that Rutgers has hired Lowenstein Sadler partner Matthew Brocker to lead the investigation. Boxer has also done an investigation for Rutgers in the past, so they're just using the same agency to go ahead and continue to help them out in reference to this. It's not a good look for the gymnastics program. This is a program that has not always been in the greatest of light athletically, and it's worked hard to try and change the narrative and improve the image of the program. So it's really tough, when you have an environment that's toxic, and it's something that definitely needs to be investigated and addressed accordingly, and help hold whoever is accountable accordingly. So in the article, President Holloway, he's quoted as saying, "This effort will ensure that any and all concerns raised about the program have been thoroughly reviewed, determine whether appropriate follow-up steps were taken, identify reasons for any potentially insufficient responses, and recommend areas where additional steps may be necessary. The review will further identify and address any concerns about the culture of the team that are reviewed." In terms of the hiring of the firm is going to a $50,000 retainer and a rate of $225,000 for the first month, dropping down to $195 for the second month. And then again, any fees, if it's still continuing, will be addressed at that point in time. Man, you hire me to be an investigator, I'll do that. But no, seriously, man. In reference to this, like I said, it's tough. When you hear about this, about a school that many of us love and appreciate and have a great deal of respect for, what it does within the community, the surrounding community, and throughout the state of New Jersey. So it's very tough, but hopefully they'll be able to address it accordingly and make the necessary changes and improvements that are needed to help this program develop and be something that the Rutgers community will be proud of going forward. So it's tough right now as a Rutgers fan when you hear that, especially with all the excitement in reference to everything else that's going on in reference for Rutgers University. So, but hopefully it will be addressed accordingly, and we'll be able to move forward from there. So, President Holloway, I know he will do a great job going forward. So, all right. So the next thing I want to talk about is Rutgers field hockey. Rutgers field hockey, it has been an improved program, and it's something that is starting to give Rutgers community a sense of pride. They just competed against number 13 St. Joseph. Rutgers field hockey itself is ranked number 13. Now, they ended up losing 1-0. So they did start out the season 2-0, but they've lost the last two. So hopefully they'll be able to rebound on Sunday, because they actually are hosting the University of Miami of Ohio. So they'll be hosting the Red Hawks, and hopefully Rutgers will be able to rebound and get back on the winning track. So because they've done a great job in improving the program as they've gone along. So, I've watched some of the matches. I mean, I don't know everything, but I've watched, and I really appreciate and enjoy what I'm seeing in terms of these young student athletes. So, kudos to them. Tough loss today, but hopefully Rutgers will be back on the rebound and be able to get back into the winning ways in terms of the field hockey program. So, and hopefully you guys will appreciate it. I am looking forward to the day I'll be able to attend at least one athletic program for the university. I mean, I've already done basketball. I've already men's and women's basketball. I've already been to football game. I've seen a baseball and a softball game within my lifetime. So I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of them. Haven't seen wrestling as yet, field hockey, gymnastics, all the rest of track and field. I haven't seen all of those. I've seen some cross country because where I lived at, I was able to just see them running past the apartment complex that I was living in. So, but in the future, I hope to get into seeing additional Rutgers athletic programs, field hockey being one. They do a great job of recruiting and bringing in some the young ladies to compete at the high level. So, but tough loss to Rutgers field hockey. But again, hopefully they'll be able to get back on the winning ways and the winning track going forward. So, but what I'm going to do right now is go ahead and move over to the big boys, the football team. So many things that want to be addressed. What I want to address right now in reference to Rutgers football, and where is it? I have the article right here. All right, so in terms of Rutgers, here we go. This is where we are. And make sure you guys tap into the chat. Let me know what you think when it comes to Rutgers Athletic, as well as many other the other sports within the Rutgers. And here we go. Here it is. I got the article. All right. The first thing I want to talk about in terms of the Rutgers football program, this week Rutgers will be on a bye, and it's a necessary bye. Well, you know what? Let me back up. Let me start with Rutgers playing their game, football game this past Saturday. They hosted Akron University. Akron did come to Piscataway, and Rutgers ended up walking away with a very good win, 49-17. So there are a lot of things that Rutgers definitely needs to clean up in reference to their gameplay. They were dealing with quite a few injuries, and I'm going to go over that in a little bit. But to come away with the win and end up 2-0 is a very important thing for the football program. The biggest thing is Kyle Monungai. Kyle Monungai was very impressive in terms of his play. He went out there and rushed 27 times for 208 yards and 3 touchdowns. So he's at 373 yards on the season with 4 touchdowns. And with his performance, he's earned the Player of the Week award for the East-West Shrine Bowl series, as well as the Big Ten. So he's done a very good job in performance. The other thing is his offensive line. The offensive line is doing a great job in terms of getting the players opening up the running lanes for the players and allowing the players to produce and perform They're allowing the players to capitalize on their abilities and go out there and perform at a high level. So, but again, Kyle Monungai earning the Player of the Week award is a very good thing. And, as a Rutgers fan, I'm pleased to see that. He does a great job in terms of his running. When you watch him, he runs very violently, physically, and he produces. So, and it's a good thing to see. So, and I got the ratings. I'm just pulling up some of the ratings too. I'm going to go over to in reference to the offensive line, so we can talk about that. But again, like I said, I'm just really ecstatic with the performance of the football team. To be 2-0 going into this bye is definitely needed. They are dealing with a lot of injuries. So, but again, staying with Kyle Monungai, he is the he is the player of the week. Here it is. This is what I've been looking for, guys. Sorry about that. Just have quite a few apps open, but hey. As you can see, he's actually the East-West Shrine Bowl Offensive Breakout Player of the Week. Again, like I said, 27 carries, 208 yards, 3 touchdowns. And, he's done a great job being out there, being a leader of the program on and off the field. So it's something that this program definitely can take pride in. What's up, Daniel? Thanks for tapping in, man. I really appreciate you. Make sure you hit the like button on my channel, the Hardcore Sports Network, and the Big Blue Crew Sports Network. So thanks a lot for your support. But again, Kyle Monangai, play East-West Shrine Bowl Player of the Week, as well as the Big Ten. So, that's something that, you definitely can appreciate with his ability and what he's been doing. So, and the reason why he's been able to do that is because of guys up front. Now, they were just graded, and let's take a look here at that. When you take a look at their offensive line, when you break down each position, number 1 is Tyler Needham. He's actually the right tackle, and these are grades per PFS, PFF, Pro Football Focus. And shout out to Mike Broadbent for tweeting this. So I'm just picking this up. But again, he's ranked number 1. Holland Pierce, the left tackle, is ranked number 22. If you look all the way to the right, you see their rating. The other next to that is their jersey number. So if you were wondering what that 56 and 72 is, that's their jersey number. If we move down, ranked number 10, he's the Kwabena Asamoah. He's the right guard. So you see their ratings. Needham was at a 92.5. Pierce is at a 78.9. And they take into consideration everything. This is your run and your pass blocking. In terms of Asamoah, he's at an 81.9. Then you have the left guard, Brian Felter. He's 72.7. And then your center, who's ranked at number 29, he's 73.1. As you see, the offensive line is performing very well, and they're allowing the offense to be productive. They're allowing the running backs to be productive and go out there and produce. They're also allowing the quarterback the opportunity to go out there and produce. So, and that's some of the things that we're going to go over in a little bit, so you guys can see, how they're doing overall. So, but again, if it's not for the big guys up front, they wouldn't be able to do what they need to do. Also, from Mike Broadbent, overall, the team rating, 93.9, which is 3rd place in all of FBS. So that's high rewards. You can take a look at their points for. They've scored 93 and they've given up 24. So now there are some things they need to clean up offensively, but it's still a good thing. Now, there's always going to be the argument, well, they played a MEAC and a MAC team. Yes, they did. I get it. I understand. But the bottom line is you just go out there and you produce against whoever's out in front of you. Same thing with Ohio State and Mississippi, who are over them. Louisville, Indiana. Indiana scored 77 points in their most recent game. So, if you look at that and you think about that, you just go out and you do your job and you produce. You play your brand of football. And for Rutgers to be rated in number 3 overall, that's something that this program is going to continue to take a look at and focus on. So I definitely appreciate where what they're doing, overall, and their grading, and that just speaks to who they are as a program. They go out there and they just continue to work and do what they need to do to be a productive football team. So, I'm going to go ahead and pull up some of the other important rating metrics. I'm looking for it right now. I don't know what happened to it. Here it is. All right. So the next one we're going to talk about is Edd Gladney, the quarterback for Rutgers University. He's the transfer over from Minnesota, but he's come here and he's done a great job. I mean, if you take a look at his gradings, when he's kept clean, and when they say kept clean, it's he's not getting hit. He's able to stand in the pocket and throw the football. He's 26 of 40 for 309 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. And if you rate him in the NFL rating, he's 128. His rating is 128.0. So that's high praise. And when he's under pressure, he's not as accurate. He's 3 of 7, 68 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 78.3 NFL rating. When he's not blitzed, he's 20 of 30, 218 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. And that's a 121.3 NFL rating. And when he is blitzed, he's 9 of 17, 159 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, which is a 100.2 NFL rating. So, when you sit down and you really break that down, that just shows, how effective he is as a passer, especially when you give him the time to do that. So while he is not one of the elite passers, in college football, he's not expected to do that. He's just expected to go out there and be productive, on the football field. So, and he does a very good job of doing that. So I definitely appreciate him for what he is doing on the football field and how he's helping this program overall. And it's going to go a long way as the season continues on. So, now, I definitely want to take a look at the stats that I was talking about earlier. And this is going to give you a complete breakdown of the full metrics of the football programs. So, and here we go. So, again, you take a look. Edd Gladney has played in 2 games. He's attempted 47 passes, completed 29. That's a 67.1% completion percentage. He has 377 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 1 interception. So you see how the team is overall. So he's pretty much has all the passing. No one else has passed. I'm not saying played, but has thrown a pass for Rutgers right now. When we take a look at the rushing attacks, you have Kyle Monunga, who's played in 2 games. He's has 46 rushing attempts, 373 yards, 8.1 average, and 4 touchdowns, which I talked about earlier. But then you have freshman Antoine Raymond, who's played in 2 games, 23 carries, 126 yards, 5.5 yard average, and that's and with 2 touchdowns. Then you have Sam Brown, who didn't play this past game. So that's why it's 1 game, 14 carries, 68 yards, 4.9 average. Edd Gladney, who's played in the 2 games, 6 carries, 43 yards, 7.2 yard average, and no touchdowns. So Johnny Shepard has also rushed 1 time for 4 yards. So that just talks about the rushing attack. When we sit here and we break it down, that's 90 carries over 2 games, 614 yards, 6.8 average, and 6 touchdowns. So when I even break it down, I say, that's 45 rushing attempts per game. That's 307 yards per game, and that's 3 touchdowns. That's great production. That's very good production with an offensive line. So, with a running attack. So, kudos again to the offensive line. It's because of them, which is why the offensive line is, the skill guys are able to do what they do. What's up, Jacob? Thanks for tapping in, man. I really appreciate it. Wimsett transferred out, Jacob. This was back during the spring. Ethan won the starting quarterback job, and Gavin didn't want to stay and be a backup. So he transferred. He transferred to his home state of Kentucky, where ultimately he's a backup quarterback there. And they use him primarily as a running quarterback. He has done a little bit of passing, but pretty much he's moved on Rutgers has moved on, and that's pretty much it. So Rutgers is doing well with Ethan as their starting quarterback. As you know, if you guys saw, like I said, he's 377 yards in terms of passing on the season. So about 62% completion percentage. So in the receiving, Dymere Miller, who's the big transfer that we picked up, 8 receptions over 2 games, 114 yards, 14.3 and 1 touchdown. Chris Long played in 2 games, 5 receptions, 91 yards, 18.2, 1 touchdown. Kenny Fletcher at tight end, 2 games, 5 receptions, 40 yards, 8 average, 2 touchdowns. KJ Duff, 3 receptions, 38 yards, 12.7 average, 1 touchdown. Ian Strong, he's going to get there. 3 touchdowns. 3 complete receptions, 36 yards, 12 yards per reception, and that's over 2 games. Sam Brown, who played in only one reception, 34 yards and a touchdown. Very big explosive play there. Victor Konopka, it's a tight end, 1 reception, 12 yards. Ben Black, over 2 games, 1 reception, 9 yards, and Kyle Monungai, 2 receptions, 3 yards, 1.5 average. So you see the efficiency and the effectiveness of, the skill players in the offensive game. So, and again, I always attribute that back to the offensive line. So, and overall, same as it should match up with your quarterback, 377 yards over 29 receptions, 6 touchdowns, 13 yards average. So, and when we take a look at the opposition, 2 games, 31 receptions, 267 yards, 8.6 average, 1 touchdown there in receiving. Rushing, 61 carries over 2 games, 301 yards rushing, 4.9 average, and 2 touchdowns. And then, of course, 59 attempts, 31 completions, 52.7 percentage, 267, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. So, again, we're doing a great job. We take a look at the scoring breakdown. Kyle Monungai, over 2 games, 4 rushing touchdowns. Antoine is 4 rushing Raymond is 4 rushing touchdowns. Kenny Fletcher, 2 receiving touchdowns. Dymere Miller, Sam Brown, Chris Long, KJ Jeff, 1 receiving touchdown apiece. If you break it down, 6 rushing touchdowns, 6 passing touchdowns. And then you also had 1 that was an interception return, the very first score in the first game of the season. So Rutgers has scored 13 touchdowns. But offensively, that's great balance, man. Between the run and the pass, you're going to score equally. And that's opening, or that's a very important key for success there. So the opposition, though, 2 games, 2 rushing touchdowns, 1 passing touchdown, 3 for total. So there's a differential of 10 in terms of the rushing. What's up, Deception? Thanks for tapping in, man. I really appreciate you guys being here. So, but again, it goes a long way with this football program, with what they're doing. So I definitely appreciate them and where they're going in the long run. And I hope it continues on with this football program. Continue to work hard and develop and give the university some great pride. So right now, Rutgers, like I said earlier, is on a bye this week. So they're prepping for their upcoming road game, their first one of the year, where they'll be going down to Virginia Tech. So on the 21st, Saturday the 21st, they'll be playing it'll be a 3:30 kickoff against Virginia Tech in Blacksburg. And that'll actually be on the ACC network. So I don't know if it'll probably be in the Rutgers area. It'll probably be on local access somewhere. Maybe local network. We'll see what happens from there. So, but getting back into more of the football program. Oops, where are we at here? Sorry, guys. Got it going on. And I hope everyone is doing well. Make sure that you guys hit that like button and for the Coach Edd Gladney's Amazing World of Sports, the Big Blue Crew Sports Network, as well as the Hardcore Sports Network. I have the links right there in the description. So here we go. So, and Chad, thank you for being here, brother. You know how we do halftime. I mean, Chad, halftime's not happy now. He's getting a kitty. Okay, I'll talk to him about that. So we'll see what happens. Tyrone Hall, thanks for tapping in, brother. Really appreciate you. Yeah, Paul Robeson was an alumnus, one of the greatest football players to ever play for Rutgers University. So definitely know my history when it comes to Rutgers. Nothing but love and respect for the university. So, but one of the things I wanted to touch on, because they're going on the bye, it's a great opportunity for the football program because it allows them to get guys who have been injured and who have missed games, an extra week, no physical aspect, and get prepared for, a tough game. So three important key players on the defensive side have been linebacker Tyreen Powell. He's the veteran of the group. Right now, you have a lot of young guys who are playing at the linebacker level, especially when we lost Mohamed Toure for the year. Tyreen Powell has been out with an Achilles that happened back up at the beginning of the year. So hopefully he'll be ready for this game coming up. You have defensive end Wesley Bailey. He's a returning sack leader from last year. And Rutgers definitely needs it, man, because there's really not a lot of sacks right now for the football program. So we definitely need to improve and we can get some pressure, but we have to secure this sack. So, and then defensive tackle, Troy Rainey, he's a big impact on the interior. We definitely can use him, even though the defense has been solid. But, it goes a long way to having enough level of competition is going to improve. So, and that's going to be important for Rutgers going forward because they're going to need those bodies. They're going to need and good fit guys who fit the program and who play to what Rutgers brand of football is going to be. Okay. But it's very important, like I said, to get these guys back, get them involved in what has been going on right now with the football program. And then, you know what? Let's see what we can do. Virginia Tech is going to be a tough one. Tyron Jones is a very good quarterback. I know Rutgers played them last year, but that was a different team. So, you have to be fundamentally sound in reference to how you play him. Because not only can he run, but he can pass the football. So it's going to add added pressure. That's why getting Bailey and Rainey back for the defensive line is important. And then Tyreen Powell to be that leader, that veteran leader out there, especially when you have young guys out there. One thing I will say is Akron did take advantage of, our young linebackers, Moses Walker and Dario the Jumbo. And they're young, literally their first one or two starts of their football career. So it goes a long way to having Tyreen back out there to help settle guys in, and then Bailey and Rainey in to get into the rotation because we're going to need them. It was also good having Flip Dixon back last week. He did miss the season opener, but then when you have him back coming up for this game, you're going to need him because he's a playmaker at the safety level. So, he did not get 2 tackles, which is good, but we need him to be out there consistently with Desmond Igmanosin and Shaquan Loyal. We have a good quartet of safeties out there who will definitely go out there and make the plays that Rutgers needs going forward. So looking forward to next weekend when Rutgers comes back and starts to prepare for Virginia Tech. So again, like I said, Virginia Tech is going to be an ACC network game, 3:30 kickoff on the 21st, Saturday the 21st. More than likely, I'll be streaming it so you guys can follow along with me. So, but I'm really excited in reference to one to break because Rutgers needs it. That I definitely will say. Let me close that out. So they definitely need it, and then we'll go from there. So I didn't even see this statistical. Rutgers is number 4 in terms of rushing offense nationwide, and 98th passing. So thought the passing was a little bit better, but it's yards per game. So and defensively, they're 89th and 28th. So it's kind of reflective of last year. But in the rush game, you're going to improve because, that's a MEAC and a MAC team. So, imagine when you're going up against a Virginia Tech or you're going up against other Big Ten teams. They're going to take a look at that and they're going to try and attack you in the run game. So, and then with the pass, even though Calvin Manis has shown that he's capable of going deep, had a beautiful deep pass this past weekend. I believe it was 58 yards, right over the top, right into Chris Long's hand, where he caught it in stride, and defensive back was left grasping air as he fell to the ground. So I do think it will improve as we get more comfortable and the season goes along. So we'll see what happens. What's up, Coach Dante? Thanks for being here, man. I really appreciate you. So so if you have any questions, let me know. Heck, if you want to join the conversation and talk Rutgers, let me know. I'll shoot you the link. So, but the statistics just tell me, it's kind of a carryover from last year, and Rutgers is needs to improve going forward. So, and Virginia Tech will be the first test in reference to that. So, I'm looking forward to seeing what my Scarlet Knights can do going forward. So. But, I talked to you a little bit about Chris Long and the touchdown pass, and it was a thing of beauty, man. And Chris Long, who didn't play last year, him coming back and being as productive or starting to be productive is very important to helping this offense open up. So his ability to catch the pass, but also stretch the field, goes a long way. So I'm proud to, hear that he's able to do that and definitely help the offense develop and continue to grow. So, I'm looking forward to seeing him grow because when we did recruit him and officially sign, it was thought of as a good move. It was, something that was definitely needed. So, and he's continued to grow. He's fought injuries along the way, but he's done a good job. And on that touchdown play, matter of fact, it was a double move where he did a slant, as they say, a sluggo. I believe it was around a 7-yard, 8-yard sluggo, where he broke in at around 7-8 yards and then took it upfield after a pump fake from Callie Manis, which allowed him to get behind the defensive back. And next thing you know, the pass is coming over the top of his head, right into the right into his hands for a touchdown. I was still working right now. We did a write-up on 15 freshman player, and your boy. Well, yeah, there's a lot of hope for him. He just has to develop, and I think over the course of time, he will be able to develop. So I'm going to study a little bit more on him, so I can be more familiar. And in reference to this play, I'm looking at interview response from offensive coordinator Kirk Shiraka, where he said that the play did more than just put points on the board for Rutgers. They were talking about the cornerback that blitzed, so it was giving them a different look. And, basically Callie Manis and Long both kept their composure. They trusted what they needed to do. And Chris Long was able to run a great route and then make the moves necessary. And then the biggest thing is securing a deep ball like that, because a lot of times you see receivers drop the ball. And, for him to catch it is good for him. You're happy for him to see him make a play like that. But it also helps the offense in the long run, because most people, like I said, the numbers are sitting there speaking to Rutgers more of a rushing attack. But like I said, when you can throw a 50-plus yard pass over the top of a defense and you can have a receiver catch it, that changes how the perception of Rutgers is going to be going forward, because defenses are going to say, hey, look, they can still go over the tap, which will force them to stay back, and then it'll help enhance the rushing attack. So that's what I'm definitely looking forward to. And for Chris Long, like I said, his journey hasn't been a clean one, but you know what? He's producing, and that's all that matters right now. So, kudos to him. And let's see. Yeah, right now I'm looking at early. We have the early recruiting ranks, and right now they're showing that Rutgers is ranked at number 21. Let me give you guys this look right here that I'm talking about. Rutgers is ranked up here, with, Wisconsin at 25. Oh, why is this window staying? Okay. Wisconsin 25, SMU 24, Maryland 23. Already, that's 2 Big Ten schools that they're over. You have Florida, and then there's Rutgers at 21. And that's their composite grading. TCU, let's see who's in front of them. Washington from the Big Ten is in front of them. Michigan, Penn State, 3 teams in front of them. USC is 4, Oregon is 5 in front of them. So Notre Dame, Oklahoma, Texas A&M, Tennessee, Texas, Auburn, Georgia at 4. That's surprising. LSU, Crimson Tide, and I guess Ohio State is number 1. Ohio State. So Rutgers is in some lofty competition right now in terms of recruiting. So, like I said before, that goes a long way for them in the long run. That's changing the perception in reference to Rutgers. Many are not looking them in the same light, saying, "Oh, they're a toilet program." Because I've had to deal with that for decades, man. Rutgers is a toilet program, but they're not. You're seeing right here, the proof is in the pudding, the way they're producing, the scoring, the points. 40 points in over 2 games. That's something Rutgers hasn't done in a long time. So I'm definitely pleased with what I'm seeing from the from the athletic program. And I hope they continue to build and develop a program where it's one of the top programs in the country consistently every year. So, and I've been following, like I said, I've been following Rutgers since the mid '80s. I remember the first game I ever saw Rutgers playing was actually against Syracuse. Syracuse came to New Jersey, and that's when I learned, oh, okay, so Rutgers is right there in terms of big time college football. So, as long as they continue to work the way they're supposed, it's going to be a great thing going forward in terms of Rutgers athletics. So, last thing I'm going to talk about before I get ready to get out of here, just a little, something positive, but it deals with a current and a former Rutgers Scarlet Knight. They're actually siblings. You have Ron Harper Jr., who played here for 4 years and graduated a couple years ago, and Dylan Harper, one of the highly ranked recruits to sign with Rutgers. They've joined the WME Sports grouping with agents Drew Gross. They were they followed Gross. Who was at Rock Nation. So that's telling me that they have a great relationship with Gross. So the WME also has high-ranking athletes, Luka Doncic, Christian McCaffrey, Justin Jefferson. So that goes a long way for them, being signed to, a high-level agency, and it's going to help them in the long run, getting them situation, especially Dylan. Dylan is projected if he has a good year, to be a top 5 pick next year, top 5, top 10, say, anywhere in that range. Most Rutgers fans want him to be anywhere from 1 to 3, but we'll see what happens as we go forward. But yeah, them signing with this agency is a good thing. Especially brothers, they want to stay together, and then you're following the same agent. So, you have a great rapport. He's going to get the best for you as an athlete. And then it goes a long way for them being able to capitalize on their marketability and, also grow themselves as athletes. So it also will open a door with the relationship with Rutgers with this agency, especially with Gross, because other athletes are going to see this and they're going to say, well, they left Rock Nation, which is well known. And then you're going to move on to WME, and then you're staying with the same agent. So that agent is going to be able to sign other good recruit athletes, whether it's in the Rutgers community or across the sports world itself. So looking forward to seeing how they capitalize and how they go forward. So, but that's pretty much going to be it today. I want to thank everyone for being here. Coach Dante from East Coast Gridiron. We'll get into talking more sports later. Tyrone Hall, thank you, brother. I know you're a great supporter of Rutgers. Chad, my brother, love and appreciate you, man. Deception, Jacob, and Daniel Berry, you guys are all great. So I really appreciate it. I'm going to be working on a few things, going forward with the Doing It For The R. Hey, if you guys have any thoughts, any suggestions, I'm not closed-minded. Shoot it to me. Always leave it in the chat. I do come back and I check from time to time, and I'll take a look and see if you added anything. And, if it's something that I can do, I'll definitely do. So you can also hit me on Twitter, X, however you categorize it. Remember, my information is in the description. It's Skies Papa 72. That's SKYSPOPPA 72. So that's pretty much it. So, but again, thanks everyone for being here. You'll catch me tomorrow on the Full Court Press podcast with my man Man Cave. We'll be talking about the WNBA. I'm also going to be available, pretty much all week, even covering some games, some things on Friday. So those of you who know me know what my schedule is. So make sure you tap in, and also make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already done so, hit the notification, and share on all social media platforms for Coach Edd Gladney's Amazing World of Sports, the Hardcore Sports Network, and the Big Blue Crew Sports Entertainment. So, it's Big Blue Crew Sports Network. So, thanks a lot, everyone, for being here. I really appreciate it. And like I always say when in sports, make sure you guys turn it on and turn it up. You guys be safe and have a great one. I'll talk to you later. Peace.
Yo, I'm reppin' Rutgers, yeah, we do it for the R. Scarlet Knights flexing hard, yeah, we born and raised the bar. All the pride in New Jersey, man, we stand tall and proud. From the Brunswick to the shore, we gon' turn it up real loud. Athletics in our veins, we hustle, we grind. The streets to East Coast, so it's on our mind. Red and black, we attack, yeah, we never fall back. In the heart of the game, Rutgers putting up the stats.
Jersey strong, yeah, we doing it right. For the R, put a thumb and we gon' fight all night. East Coast energy, hit 'em with the hype. Rutgers on the project, taking that flight.
From the glassroom to the field, we excel, we win. Got the spirit of the all, let the games begin. We represent the Garden State. Hustle, grit, no debate. Determination in our eyes. Nah, we don't hesitate. We got strength, we got heart. Every play, every ball. Loyalty in our soul from the end to the start. It's a Rutgers way, never sway. Steady on our grind with the pride of New Jersey. Success we gon' find.
Jersey strong, yeah, we doing it right. For the R, put a thumb and we gon' fight all night. East Coast energy, hit 'em with the hype. Rutgers on the project, taking that flight.
Yo, in this day, it's still a raw. Scarlet Knights, here a sword. Champions in spirit, breaking down every door. Red wave rising, see the power in our stride. With the hearts of a night, we got that Jersey pride. When the lights bright on that Saturday night, Rutgers spirit burning, shining in the fight. In every passing jack, who we blaze with desire. In the halls of the ivy, setting the field of fire. From the alumni to the youth, we carry the flame. United by the banner. And